Hi everyone and welcome back to a new episode of Diagnosedan. Today we're working on a 2008 Audi A4 with a 2.7 liter TDI diesel engine. The customer complained the check engine light is on, so let's diagnose this together. We're gonna start off by scanning the car for fault codes, and in this video we'll be using the Foxwell GT90. In comparison to my Snap-on Verus, the screen is a little bit bigger, and Foxwell claims this unit is dust and waterproof, so basically it's ideal for the workshop environment. If you want to learn more about the Foxwell GT90, I will leave a link in the description box of this video. The Foxwell GT90 is a Bluetooth scan tool. Now the Bluetooth dongle is quite big, which I like because then it's harder to lose. Now let's hook it up to this Audi and let's see if this Foxwell can talk German. Now let's select diagnostics. And as you can see, there are lots of Asian, Chinese, European and American cars in this scanner. Now let's go to Europe and select Audi. Let's go to models and let the scan tool read the VIN code. It is 2008, it is a saloon and it's got the 2.7 liter TDI diesel engine. Now let's select engine, and when we get to engine, let's read the fault codes. And we've got a couple of glow plug faults, but in this video we'll be focusing on the P2020, which is an intake manifold runner, position sensor / switch, circuit bank 2 range performance fault. This 2.7 liter TDI engine is a V6 engine. Now the bank on this side is bank number 1, so this is bank number 2. And this is the intake runner of bank 1. And we had a fault code on the intake runner of bank number 2. So we're going to focus on this one. This is the P2020 we are focusing on. And this is the motor with the position sensor that controls the flaps inside the intake manifold of bank number 2. The engine is off right now, but the key is on. Let's try and erase the codes and see what happens. Let's erase the codes. And let's read it again. And the fault code is still there. Now let's try again. Erase the codes. Are you sure? Yes, we are sure. Codes cleared. Let's read again. And the fault code is still there. Now let me do a little trick. Let's push down on this lever a little bit. And let's try and erase the codes again and see what happens. And right now there are no fault codes found and the system is a pass. Now let's go into live data and let's try to find the position sensor of this little lever. There are a lot of data pits in this scan tool, but let's see if we can find the right one. And here it is, intake manifold runner control. So that's basically desired, and intake manifold runner acknowledgement, and that is basically the actual value. Now let's see if we can turn this into a gauge. Yes, we can. And right now, desired is on 94% and actual is on 100%. Now let's see what happens when I push down on this lever. And as you can see, it comes down to 93%, which is close to desired. The fault code description can help us diagnose a car. In the fault code description, it said we had a range performance fault. So basically, the reading or the value was out of range. The component was not performing the way the PCM was expecting it to do. Now, by looking at the scan data, we confirmed it. It was expecting a value of 94, but the actual value was 100. So it flags a range performance fault. The PCM isn't happy with the value on our intake manifold runner on our Audi. It flags a code and it said it is out of range. Now when I push down on the lever, everything is within spec, the fault code clears and the PCM is happy. Now to get a better understanding why the value is out of range, we need to remove the intake manifold. So I removed the intake manifold of bank 2. And this is the motor we've got the fault code for that drives the flaps inside the intake manifold. Now this motor drives a plastic axle inside a plastic manifold. Now of course over time the plastic wears out and it will get excessive play. This excessive play will allow the angle of the motor to change. And when it changes beyond the allowable range, the PCM will set a fault code. Now this is the angle the motor is supposed to have. Now let's see, when I let go, you can see because of the play in that axle, the motor can move just a little bit further than it is supposed to do. There are a few ways to fix this problem, but I decided to replace the entire manifold with the plastic axle. Now when you buy the manifold from Audi, it comes with the electric motor and that can be quite expensive. But in the aftermarket you can find the intake manifold without the motor and that can save your customer a lot of money. Now you can bolt the old motor onto the new manifold, and since there's nothing wrong with the motor, I consider this a good fix. Now off camera, I reassembled the engine again. I installed the new intake manifold with the new intake manifold runner. Now let's hook up the scan tool again and see if we have got a fix. Now let's read the fault codes again. And of course we still had that P2020 stored in memory. Now by the way, if you get a P2015, that's exactly the same code, but then for the other bank, so bank number 1. Now let's see, with the new intake manifold installed and the new intake manifold runner, when we clear the codes, it actually doesn't come back. Let's read it again. And as you can see, system pass, no fault found. Now let's go to live data and compare that actual and desired value again. That is, if I can find it, of course. And there it is. And there you are. A desired value of 94% and an actual value of 93.5%. Now this is within range, so the PCM is happy, I'm happy, customer happy. The lesson that can be learned from this video is read your fault code descriptions. Thoroughly reading your fault code descriptions might take a little bit longer, but it will give you direction, and in the end you will fix the car faster. Now always look at a fault code from the computer's perspective. A value is coming in, the computer looks at the value, and it isn't what it is expecting. It is out of range. So the computer is flagging an out of range code. Now if you want to learn more about the Foxwell scan tool I used in this video, there will be a link in the description box. There's also still time to enter the Diagnosedan Electude Simulator challenge, also in the description box. Now if you want to see some really cool diagnostic videos, please visit the Super Mario Diagnostic channel. Mario, thanks for the shirt, buddy. Now if you like this video and if you want to learn more, please subscribe to my channel. When you hit the little bell, you will get a notification each time I post a new video. And always remember, Diagnosedan, fixed it again, P2020. See you next time, guys. Now remember how in the beginning of this video, we also had glow plug faults. Now since I already needed to take the intake manifold off, I have great access to the glow plugs on bank number 2 right now. So we might just as well test them, and if it's necessary, change them out. Now there is a great way to test the glow plugs on this Audi. A glow plug has got some resistance, but that resistance is very low. So when we hook a test light up to battery positive and we touch the glow plug, it should still provide a path to ground, and the test light should light up. Now if the test light doesn't light up, there is an open in the glow plug and it needs to be changed. One side of my test light is connected to battery positive, so when I touch a ground, my test light lights up. Let's touch the first glow plug, and as you can see, my test light does not light up, so there's an open inside this glow plug and it provides no path to ground. So this is a faulty glow plug. Let's try the second one, and this one does provide a path to ground and my test light lights up. Now let's try the last one on this bank, and again my test light does not light up. So this is also a faulty glow plug.